Hey there, and welcome. If you're watching this video, you're probably learning English and want to speak it more confidently in your daily life. That's great, because today we're going to explore vocabulary that you absolutely must know for everyday conversations. We'll go over phrases you can use at home, in public, at work, when shopping, or just talking to friends. All the vocabulary we'll cover is simple, useful, and used by native speakers all the time. So, whether you're a beginner or just want to brush up, this video is for you. Let's start with the basics greetings. These are the first words we use when we meet someone. Of course, you probably know hello and hi, but let's look at a few other ways people greet each other. You might hear someone say, "Hey, how's it going?" This is a casual way to say hello and ask how the person is doing. It's very common. You can answer with good and you, or I'm doing well, thanks. Some people might say, "What's up?" or "How are things?" These are also informal and friendly. If someone says, "Not much, just relaxing," that means they're not busy, just taking it easy. Now, let's talk about daily routines. Imagine it's morning. You might hear someone say, "I just woke up," or "I need coffee." If they're tired, they might say, "I didn't sleep well," or "I'm so sleepy." When you're getting ready, you might say, "I need to take a shower, I'm brushing my teeth," or "I'm getting dressed." Once you leave the house, there are new expressions to learn. Let's say you're heading to work or school. You might say, "I'm running late," which means you're not on time. Or, "I missed the bus." If you're driving, "The traffic is terrible," is something you might say if the roads are crowded. At work, you might greet coworkers with "morning" or "how was your weekend?" These are friendly ways to start a conversation. You can talk about tasks by saying, "I have a lot to do today," or "let's finish this project." If someone helps you, say, "Thanks, I appreciate it," or "that really helps." When talking to your boss, it's good to be polite. You might say, "Do you have a moment?" or "Could I ask you something?" These are soft, respectful ways to begin a conversation. If you're not sure about something, say, "I don't understand," or "Can you explain that again, please?" Now, let's move on to conversations in public. If you go to a store, you might say, "Excuse me, where can I find the milk?" Or, "How much is this?" At the cashier, you can say, "I'd like to pay with card," or "Can I get a bag?" If someone helps you, always remember to say, "Thank you," or "Thanks a lot." Ordering food is another common situation. At a cafe, you can say, "Can I get a coffee, please?" Or "I'll have a sandwich." If you're eating there, they might ask for here or to go. That means, are you staying or taking the food with you? If you're staying, say for here. If not, say to go. If something's wrong, say, "Sorry, I think this is not what I ordered," or "Can I speak to the manager?" Let's talk about some helpful vocabulary for conversations with friends. Friends talk in a very relaxed way, and they often use phrases like "that's cool" or "no worries." For example, if you cancel plans, you can say, "I'm sorry, I can't make it today," and your friend might say, "No worries, maybe next time." If you agree with something, you can say, "Sounds good," or "I'm in." If you disagree politely, you can say, "I'm not sure about that," or "I see it differently." Sometimes we want to express our feelings. Let's learn some simple emotional vocabulary. If you're happy, you can say, "I'm so happy," or "This made my day." If you're sad, you might say, "I feel down," or "I had a rough day." When you're excited, you can say, "I'm looking forward to it," or "I can't wait." If you're angry, try saying, "I'm upset," or "That's really frustrating," instead of using strong words. Another important area is asking for help. This happens often in daily life. You can say, "Can you help me, please?" or "I need some help with this." If you're lost, you might ask, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the train station?" or "I'm looking for this address." And when someone helps you, again, always say thank you. In English conversations, we also use many short phrases called phrasal verbs. These are made of a verb and a small word like up or out. They can be tricky but are used a lot. For example, wake up means stop sleeping. Pick up can mean to lift something or to go get someone. Hang out means to spend time with friends. Look after means to take care of someone. Learning phrasal verbs helps you sound more natural. Let's go over some phrases for technology and communication. These days, we're always texting or calling. You might say, I'll call you back, or can you text me the address? If your phone's not working, say, I have no signal, or my battery is low. On the internet, we often say, I'll send you the link, or check your email. These are useful in everyday digital life. At home, there's also vocabulary to know. You might say, I'm doing the laundry, or I need to clean the kitchen. If you're cooking, say, I'm making dinner, or let's order something. If you're relaxing, say, I'm watching a movie, or let's take a break. These simple phrases describe common actions we all do. Now, let's imagine you're meeting someone new. You can say, Hi, I'm Sarah. Nice to meet you. Or what do you do? That usually means, what's your job? If someone asks you, you can answer, I'm a student, or I work in marketing, or I'm looking for a job right now. If you don't understand their accent, say politely, Sorry, could you say that again? It's totally okay to ask. English speakers also use many filler words. These are words we say to keep the conversation going while we think. Words like well, like, and are common. For example, someone might say, Well, I think we should leave now, or it's like really hot today. These words don't add meaning, but they help make speech sound more natural. Let's also talk about ways to end conversations. When you're leaving, you can say, I've got to go, or it was great talking to you. You can also say, take care, or see you later. These are polite and friendly. Now, what about small talk? That's when you talk about simple things like the weather, sports, or what's happening around you. It's not deep conversation, it's just to be friendly. You can say, It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Or, Did you watch the game last night? These are great ways to connect with people, especially in new places. As you learn this vocabulary, it's important to practice. Don't worry about being perfect. Make small mistakes, it's totally normal. What matters is that you keep trying. Use one or two of these phrases each day. Try speaking to yourself at home or repeating after this video. The more you use the words, the faster they become part of your daily English. Here's a tip. Listen to native speakers. Watch movies, YouTube videos, or podcasts in English. Pay attention to the way people speak in real life. Write down phrases you hear often and try to use them. You'll start to see patterns and your confidence will grow. Let's quickly review some of the must-know vocabulary we talked about today. Greetings like, hey, how's it going? Everyday expressions like, I'm running late, can I get a coffee? And no worries. Phrases for feelings like, I'm excited, or that's frustrating. Phrasal verbs like pick up, hang out, and look after. And fillers like, well, and All of this helps you sound more natural and comfortable in real conversations. So keep practicing, stay positive, and don't be afraid to speak. You're doing great just by watching this video and learning something new. Thanks for being here, and I hope this helps you in your English journey. Remember, one phrase at a time, one day at a time. You've got this.